Okay, welcome Jordan for today's lesson on Iber Concertino de Camera. Before we begin, can you just tell us who you are and what you study here at Montana State?
Okay, my name is Jordan Jensen. I am a biochemistry major here at Montana State University, and I've been studying under you in your studio for the past 2 years as a way to end out my experience here.
Right, and non-music major, play this one of the most difficult music of classical saxophone repertoire. So let's hear it, the first movement.
Whole thing?
Let's do the first page.
Okay.
All right. It's really hard. The last A, going after this one, yeah, everybody's nightmare. So, but everything else you did actually really, really well. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Good for you. Before getting to details, I just want to go over a little bit about the background of this piece, what it means by Concertino de Camera, and who's this piece is written for. Can you tell us just a little bit?
Yeah, so Concertino de Camera, it's essentially, camera means chamber, if I'm correct. So this piece is composed with the idea in mind to be played as chamber music, as to why it's also composed for specifically 11 instruments. And of course, one of the most important saxophone players in the classical world, this was made for Sigurd Rescher.
Great, yeah. It's very meaningful for us because Sigurd Rescher was a pioneer known to be a pioneer of developing the altissimo register, right? So yes, there are a lot of high notes in this music, but you know, if you ever played, that's the older instrument, like Rescher used. It's like a Visscher saxophones with large chamber mouthpiece. Surprisingly, the low notes are very easy to play. So we tend to focus on high notes too much, but it's actually the low notes that are most important. So I want to try, changing your focus for the low notes and to be fuller in those register. So start from low E, which is pretty low, right? It's already very low. So we want to make sure that those tones are very nice and full. Can you do just one slowly from one to two? Good. Yeah, it's actually hard to pronounce low notes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
Let's try it again. Really focus on E, D, C sharp, right? Let's try it out. Good, much better. And we'll come back to this idea of focusing on low notes. Now, if you look at the music, the most important thing that we need to notice, it's the very first measure. First note, forte. And then, third note, subito piano. Why do you think he did that?
It feels like Ibera really wanted to accent the downbeat
Yeah.
because so much of this piece lives on the up. I think it helps keep A, the soloists in time, and B, the accompanists.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, he wants you to emphasize the downbeat. Because otherwise, okay, we're gonna sound like it's gonna be a pickup. 2/16 notes will sound like a pickup, like. Then the syncopation will disappear, which is the heart of this music. All right. So we need to make sure that we're gonna accent the first note. Let's try it slowly.
Okay.
Good, good. Nice, nice. It's hard, but you're on the right track.
Okay.
We want to speed up, maintaining this character. And if you do it right, hopefully it sounds like this. Yeah, this idea of syncopation derived from America, jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, French composers of early 20th century, they were just mesmerized by this syncopation and incorporated it into their music.
Yeah, like right post World War I with
Correct. Yeah,
James Reese.
exactly. So we want to eliminate that syncopation. Let's try it now. Good, good, good. How does that feel?
It makes the rest of the phrase
Yeah.
lock in better when you
Yeah.
have that strong, like accented start.
Right.
I think.
Right, so it's very important to practice slowly and get this character correctly. Yeah, then once you speed up, it's gonna be much easier. Okay. Now, what happens after 3 is new character. Like, we're not in a big one. So we will introduce this more bigger gesture. We're gonna see in rehearsal number 6. So this is the first time they were introducing. So really change the character, okay? Can we try from 3?
From 3? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still hearing you're kind of feeling in the
Okay.
One more time, 3. Yeah, and then you need to switch back. Okay, that's why it's so difficult. The fingering of 3, yes, it's really hard. Can you just practice the 16 notes? Now, the trick is to make this passage easier, is to focus on the low notes, not the high notes. Try that.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
See, we tend to focus on the high notes,
Mm.
and that's where things go wrong. Because all the high notes with octave key, it will pop out naturally. It's actually the low notes that's difficult to pronounce.
Right.
So that's why we want to focus on low notes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, one last time from 3, and let's keep going until 5.
Okay.
Yay! Exactly. Let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measure after 4. And you did actually really well accenting the high E's. Do you know why you did that?
It feels natural too.
Feels natural.
Yeah.
You have a great sense of musicality.
Yeah.
It's actually because of orchestration. There's an extra instrument just playing in the orchestra.
Oh, horn, right?
Horn is a and it makes it sound a little jazzy. Isn't it wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we don't want to make it too jazzy, right? Because that's out of style. But we want to respect it. So. Yeah, and then the musical interpretation becomes much cleaner. Can you just try it right there?
Yeah.
Good, good. That was really jazzy, actually. Let's do a little less.
Okay.
Thank you for exaggerating.
Yeah.
A little bit less. One more time. Good, good, very nice. And then, because we did these offbeat syncopations, when you hit the low beat, it's satisfying. Let it ring, right? Low note. Just get up. You don't need to talk. Can I use a low beat? Yeah, I like that. Give me that one.
That hearty vibrato on it too.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. And keep going. Almost great. Great. So you're using the side fingerings?
Yeah. Side all the way F sharp and then front G sharp, front A.
Good, good. There is, for the listener and the audience, there's one another fingering. We could also use front fingering, front E, front F, F sharp, and then G sharp A. That's another option. Yeah.
I find it a little harder to articulate for myself.
It may be a little harder.
Yeah.
Okay, but the tone quality is fuller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, articulation-wise, yes, side fingering, palm keys are easier. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, either way, very difficult. But we need to make a artistic decision. The best way to practice is stop at F sharp, and then G sharp A. Yeah, that's great. That's already better. So that's how I would practice this passage. You're almost there. We just want to increase the accuracy.
And consistency.
Consistency. Yeah. But bravo on doing the first page really well. Let's move on to the second page. Yes. Wow. That's a lot of notes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right.
It would have been difficult to fit more if I.
But good for you. Good for you. There's so many great things that you did. I want to go back to 6.
Okay.
Okay. Now, 2 before 6, we have. We're actually taking the same passage from different instruments from the orchestra. Which instruments plays right before saxophone?
It's horn, right?
Horn, yes.
Okay.
Good. Either clarinet or horn, but it's a horn.
They both sound pretty similar.
And French horn, by definition, is the closest instrument in terms of overtone to the saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of an ingenious way for Ibert to create this orchestration, slowly moving into the saxophone line. So we want to connect the idea. So whatever happens in the orchestra, if French horn player plays in a certain way, we should follow it.
Okay, like
Articulation,
etc.
exactly, articulation. So let's imagine for now, they're like boom, 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 more like boom, boom, boom. There's a lightness to it with resonance. How can we do that on low notes? That's pretty hard. Like that? Can you try? Close. Are you tonguing?
Yeah. Are you?
Can you try it without tongue?
Okay.
That's air. But with finger. Close the finger right away. That's one idea, one possibility. Now, if we tongue, it becomes much cleaner, right?
Yeah.
But a little harsh. Maybe we have this attack note, the tongue note.
Yeah.
That may not be ideal. So you don't have an option, okay? Of a variety of articulations to be ready for the French horn player. and then 6, yes, phrasing. How can we make this passage more connected from 6?
I mean, having an idea of where the end is so we can have a natural swell and decrease.
Yeah.
And of course vibrato too.
Yeah, great. Yeah, those are 2 key points. Let's try without vibrato once so that we could construct this phrasing, right, from beginning to the end. Can you try from 6? till 8. How's that?
Okay.
Without vibrato. Good. Now, sometimes when you're sustaining the longer notes, there's a moment you kind of drop.
Okay.
Yeah, like you get relaxed. That's our default way of playing music, which is not musical. So we need to consciously sustain it, especially the longer notes. 2 before 7, breathing. So it better marked the beginning of the phrase from D, natural. So probably we should breathe after E.
Okay.
Yeah, to respect his indications. So let's try it. This is how I want to sustain a phrase. Pretty unmusical. Is it? Too simple.
Yeah.
But I want it to be simple.
Okay.
Yeah, try
Simple
it.
now.
Simple now.
Somewhere in there? I must have missed it.
You could breathe anywhere after the slur, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got it.
Technically. Okay, but quick. Yeah, because we don't want to cut the phrasing. Now it's simple. And it's like sponge cake. Simple
Sponge
version.
cake.
Now we're gonna decorate. Right? If the base is already decorated and dented, carved, that's not gonna be a really good, pretty cake.
Yeah.
Right?
A little boring.
Yeah. So we like it to be boring. It's okay. Once we add vibrato, it will transform the music. Just adding tiny vibrato on top of what we did. And it sounds very natural.
Yeah. Sounds like you're singing.
I like singing. Let's try. Okay, progress. Unconsciously, you did a lot of different things while you're at a vibrato.
Oh.
Yeah, phrasing is gone. You're like, see, we want it to be simple. 'Simple. 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 ' we want to give a simple idea. Music is already too complicated, very complicated. If we give too many ideas, then they will lose your main point.
Okay.
So minimize here the expression. Yeah, focus on just adding this ornaments of a vibrato.
Okay.
Excellent. What a difference that makes. That was beautiful.
Thank you. It's a lot to keep track of, but
Yeah.
I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to control.
Uh-huh.
Because you're a very expressive person. You're very musical. We want to share and show, right? But that sometimes may not be a best way to communicate. Yeah. So this is the way to build a phrasing in this section. Then we can make a contrast. Next one is again going back to really articulated passages. Now you did really well, and going up to high F on altismo, bravo. So let's hear it one more time.
From 8?
Yeah, from 8 to 11.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. Good. It's really difficult passages. So, the only thing I would say is from 9. Hold the half note tied into next 16 notes, full value. Sometimes you're too short. Okay?
Oh, I break it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you need to articulate tongue every beat. That's how it's slurred. Because otherwise it's going to sound kind of muddy in a concert hall. Yeah, we want to be able to just give a clear beat, okay, for the audience. Right? Da, da. Can I hear it from 9? Okay. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Hitting all these high notes. And it says octave ad lib. What does that mean?
At your own liberty? Like it's
Right.
if you want to do it, you can.
Yeah. Now, when it was written for Cigarette Rusher, it wasn't ad lib required. Yes. And we're talking about 1930s. How many years ago is that? It's like already 90 years has passed. Like you're playing these high notes, right? At this point, it's required. We should play everything octave higher because Cigarette Rusher did it 90 years ago. So we, as a saxophonist today, I think we have a responsibility to be able to do it. Because if you look into other instrumentalists, like a violinist, when the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto was first written, it was impossible. Now, sometimes you see 10 years old playing the Tchaikovsky. Something to think about. All right? So you're doing a wonderful job doing and challenging yourself with all these high notes. And in a way, Ibert himself took a chance because he knew nobody else could pull, be able to play all these high notes other than Cigar Rusher. That's probably why he added the ad lib for his dear friend Marcin Mille, who was amazing saxophonist too, very important figure. His focus was not like developing the high notes, right? His focus was a different place. So that's the historical background of why we have ad lib here. Now, 11. What's happening at 11?
We are kind of serving like the accompaniment in this part because the orchestra is playing the melody we established earlier in 6.
Correct. So even all these running 16 notes, there is a phrasing that we need to kind of light onto, right? Maybe it's going to be fun if I'm going to play the melody and you're going to play the 16 notes.
Oh, that'd be cool.
From 11 all the way up to the end of all these 16 notes per year. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2,
It feels so much more energetic that way. Yeah.
So it's not just 16 notes. Bravo for you doing it. It's kind of fun actually to do it. Nice. Good. And then we're going to go back to basically the same idea from 18. Now, one of the biggest challenge is right before 16, the tonguing.
Yeah.
16 notes tonguing. How are you approaching it?
I'm just blowing through, just trying to barely touch the reed.
Yeah, good.
It's like I can't be heavy there. It's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. Another way to practice though is change the articulations. So for example, everything is now tongued, right? We're gonna change to slur to staccato. You do it slowly.
Okay. So slur to tongue, you said.
To slur, to tongue.
Okay, got it.
Good. Faster. Close. One more time. Good. Now we're gonna reverse it. Two tongue, two slur. Oh. Faster.
Oh, that one's harder.
Okay, try it again. Almost. Oh, yeah. Yeah, last 2 beats, right? Yeah, there, good. Now, the most challenging one. A staccato, 2 slur, 1 staccato. Ta-ta, ya, ta-ta-ta, ya, ta.
Oh man. Oh, I have to think about that so much.
Good. And if you can make it faster, the better. This one is hard.
Yeah, okay, I'll have to work on that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. One last one.
Okay.
Tiyayatta. Three notes slurred and one staccato.
And those last two beats.
Now, then once you get used to all these variations, you just hum everything. Yeah. Okay, so it's already getting better. The challenge is last two beats because your tongue is getting tired and you start becoming more forceful, right? The trick is to keep relaxed, right? And the variation technique helps our brain to adjust fingering with the tongue. Yeah. So combine that with slow tempo, going up to the high, faster tempo, but always in the rhythm. And that's the best way to learn these difficult passages. Okay? And then everything is exactly the same. How about, do you have any questions on the first movement?
This helped a lot. You know, it's just, you can spend so many hours in the practice room trying to work on the technique, but it's like a lot of those bigger picture things and extra tactics that are awesome to have.
That's why you take lessons.
That's why you take lessons. Yeah.
That's why you take lessons. That's right. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Bravo. Well done.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.